Hey there, everyone. So let me take you back to year 2000. In 2000, 2001, in United States, there was a big shift in the financial landscape and the economy as well. If you remember, if you were on TV watching the commercials on 2000, 2001, you probably remember this commercial about the pet socket. The pet socket that was on pets.com. Unfortunately, pets.com didn't do so good. To 1999, 2000, 2001 was the consequences of the dot com bubble, dot com burst and crash. So imagine there was a group of executives that were working on the startup in California, and they were doing okay, but they were losing more money than they were making. So they were trying to get a meeting with this big prominent investor at the time, that if this company invested in this fledgling startup enterprise, the new company would survive. So the executives in California, they had a celebration for a party, and an investor said, "You know what? Why don't you come and meet us tomorrow?" And they're like, "What? How can we do this?" So they chartered a plane from Santa Barbara, and after a party, after drinking, hungover, they took a plane like 5 o'clock in the morning and flew from Santa Barbara Airport to Dallas, Texas, to meet with this potential investor who could save the company and invest so they can grow. So the executive team from California arrived in the downtown in this big building, and they were intimidated immediately. This was the biggest player in the market, number one leader, the biggest competitor, and 800-pound gorilla that could do anything they wanted. So executives from a startup made their presentation. They made their pitch, and they asked was to invest $50 million into the startup. During the presentation, when there was asked, one of the witnesses looked up at the CEO of the big company, and he saw a smirk, like a micro expression, just imprinted quickly like a flash, in and out on the face. The CEO was trying hard not to laugh at this offer of $50 million. The company did not invest. Executives flew back home to Santa Barbara, California, and the end of story, right? Well, the executive team who flew asking for money were founders and operating officers of this little company called Netflix. And the company that didn't buy was Blockbuster. This is recorded in 2020. As of this morning, total market capitalization of Netflix is $214 billion. Blockbuster no longer exists. Except one store in Oregon, and I'm not really sure how they're operating. So not only Blockbuster is $214 billion, but they have countless entertainment and saved many relationships and became part of our culture. The reason I tell you this story is that you, as a professional communicator, storyteller, business owner, student of life, you must learn how to tell great stories. And not just tell one story or two or three or four. Have 5, 10, or 20 stories for every occasion in your life. You might have also heard that Netflix origin story started with the CEO, Reed Hastings, when he went to Blockbuster, accrued $40 or $50 in late fees, and from that rebelled and had the idea for Netflix. I'm not sure about that story or the authenticity of it, but I know about the second one where they did ask for money and were rejected. So whatever stories you have heard, stories is how we build relationships. It is how we grow in trust. It is how we can build trust between us and people we are working with. If I can give you a list of things to remember, or maybe a phone number, or maybe 5 or 10 things, you will say, "Thank you, Mark," and you will forget it immediately after I stop talking. Tomorrow, you will not remember a list. Tomorrow, you will remember a story about Netflix going to Blockbuster and being rejected. So I will be talking today on July 23rd from 7 to 8 Eastern Standard Time. I will be doing a special 1 hour workshop. That is a very rare and free opportunity that I'm giving to my community. Let me know if you'd like to attend. I'll send you the link, where I'll be speaking about how to choose the right story for the right audience at the right time so you can get the results that you want. It takes practice. It takes intuitive and practical application of the story formula. I'll be talking about what stories are, what are they not. For example, stories don't have beginning, middles, and ends. They're not anecdotes. They're not always about you. They're not pretend. Stories actually have a structure. And if you break that structure, you don't have a story. You just have an anecdote. So I will tell you exactly story formulas and frameworks that you can use. One of them I can give you right now. I'll be having five different frameworks that you can use. The one is have a context, where, who, and when the story is happening. Then a challenge that your character or characters have to overcome or endure. Then a conflict. What is the struggle between the hero and the villain, between the hero and an event, between the hero and the situation? And finally, a resolution. So context, challenge, conflict, and resolution. I'll be talking about what not to say when you tell a story. And it's very counterintuitive. The words that you use can either turn people on to prime and listen to you, or turn people off. So I'll be telling you what we know from empirical data. This is according to the Nobel laureate in economics, Daniel Kahneman, what he has discovered about the structure of messaging and communication. So you got to make sure you tune in, or let me know, and I can work with you on your storytelling and messaging. So this is it. Make sure you tune in today. I hope you are working through your challenges in messaging and communication. Don't forget, it takes time. It doesn't matter where you start. It does not matter where you start. It matters that you do. Everyone has an starting point somewhere. To be a communicator of great value, great persuasion, and confidence, you must continuously improve your skills, collect more stories, create and test, create and test, create and test. You cannot sit or rest on your previous laurels. You have to get back into the trenches of your craft and become irresistible to your target audience. So I hope you join me tonight. Let me know your questions ahead of time, and I'll be making more videos about the art of irresistible, magnetic, hypnotic storytelling, so you can use and level the playing field in your business. Thanks again, everyone, for watching. Love that you're here. Love that you're spending some time with me, and I'll see you tonight or another time when you tune in. Thanks, everyone.